What's up everyone, it's Bamie from TheZenDoc here, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you a really quick and easy fix for how to make your matte resin or your cloudy resin shiny like this. Before we get into today's video, if you're not familiar with my channel, my name is Bamie. I'm an artist. I love to share my art journey and share a lot of art videos and tutorials, to inspire you on your journey, and also to just share kind of my knowledge, everything I've learned. I am self-taught, and so I kind of use this channel as an outlet to inspire you. And so I say this to say, if you are not subscribed, I would really love for you to subscribe and support my channel. It really does go a long way to support the work that I do and encourages me to continue to put out this video. So I would truly appreciate it. And so for today's video, I'm just going to be sharing with you the easiest, simplest way that I have found to make your matte or cloudy resin glossy. And I'm sharing this because this was a problem that I ran into pretty early on when I went back into resin art. And I could not for the life of me find a fix that worked. And now that I've figured out something that works really great, I figured why not put this video out there in case it would be helpful for someone else. And so to get into today's video, the very first thing I want to talk about before showing you the fix is how did I come about having, a resin or cloudy look on my art, on my resin art. And this is very simple because the silicone mold that I cast this artwork in is matte. And I have said this in my previous videos, especially when it comes to casting 3D art in silicone. Silicone does take on the finish of whatever object you're casting in it. And so if you cast something that has a matte finish, your silicone will produce matte results. It will be matte. And let me just give you a closer look. If you can see inside of this silicone mold, this is completely matte. And you know what? I just wanted to give you another silicone mold to compare with, which is glossy. And so if you look at this two side by side, you'll see that this is glossy. And if you cast resin in this, it will come out beautifully. But if you already have a matte silicone mold and you're wondering, how can I cast resin in this? I love my silicone. What can I do with it? Then this video is for you. And so let's jump right into the solution. It is actually very easy. I have been using this Krylon triple thick crystal clear glaze. It's a really high gloss varnish that works really well for this purpose. I've seen other videos that, kind of encourage you to put a layer of resin on the work. And while that does work well, it only does, I've found in my experience that it only works really well if you're pouring it over something that is already a flat surface. I have tried that technique on 3D textured art like this. And unfortunately, what I found was I had gaps where for some reason this, resin is very self-leveling. And for some reason, there were just parts of it that were not covered no matter how many coats I went over it with. And so for me, this is the best solution. And I'm just going to do that on these two pieces in front of me. And we're going to see how they're going to become as glossy as this. So let's get into it. And so as you can see, just going to lift it up carefully because they're still drying. But as you can see, they already look so much better, so much more glossier. That frosted look or that matte effect, the matte effect is no longer something that you can see. Usually I would give it about 2 to 3 coats of the spray varnish, and just let it dry out in between the applications and see if there are any spots that I missed and go over it. But usually within 2 to 3 coats, honestly, you have a really eye gloss, glass-like effect, which mirrors the exact look that resin in its natural state has. If you compare to the back of the artwork, which already has that glossy effect because it wasn't touching the silicone mold. And I believe I mentioned earlier that an alternative to doing this would be to mix up a really small batch of resin and lightly brush or go over the piece, and that would restore the mirror-like or the glass-like finish that you're aiming for with resin. But for me, I found that that approach really is great if you're working on something that has a flat surface. If you're working on maybe a tray, coasters, and things of that nature, or just really flat art where you can just apply a thin layer of resin and allow it to self level. But when you have something like this, it's very much that 3D effect. It's got ridges, it's got contours. I find that that approach is not the best because you will miss a lot of spots and your work will end up just looking really blotchy because you keep trying to get some areas, and for some reason the resin is just not leveling as you want it to. And so this is a really, really easy alternative. It's a really easy fix. You can just get you your triple thick crystal clear glaze varnish. Again, this will be linked. All of the materials I use will be linked, including this varnish, in the description box. But this is a really, really easy fix. You can just, go over and lightly spray, allow it to dry, see if you've missed any spots. And honestly, you wouldn't even be able to tell the difference. And so if you have any silicone molds that maybe were designed for plaster, for cement, those typically have that matte finish. And if you have any silicone molds like that you want to use for resin, this is a great option for you. And once these are fully dry, I will still go in and touch up, any parts of it that I might have missed. And but what I will do is I will insert clips for you to see the full effect once these are completely covered. And so you're able to see kind of a before and after, and compare for yourself. And so I really hope that, this is a video that you find really helpful and useful, and can be something that allows you to use maybe molds that you didn't think you could use for resin. As a reminder, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so already. I truly would appreciate that you do that. So please hit that subscribe button, turn on bell notifications. Lots of art tutorials and inspiration will be coming at you from this channel. My name is Baimee, and I want to thank you for hanging out with me. I'll see you all in my next video. Bye.